Hey everyone, this is going to be an actual session where I'm going to be simulating practicing for a technical interview during the SQL portion of it. And so today I am going to be covering SQL set operators, and one of my favorite things to go and practice on are joins. Yes, some of my favorite. You've got the full outer join, left join, right join, inner join, self join, cross join, and a few other joins, but I'm not going to be going over all of them. I'm just going to be going over the four major joins, which are of course the inner join, full outer join, left join, and the right join. But first, I'm going to be going over the set operators. And when it comes to set operators, you've got union, all, union, intersect, and depending on the database, the relational database management system you're using, like for instance, Oracle will have minus, SQL Server, which I'm going to be using, will you have exception, but they pretty much do the same thing. So the first set operator is union all. So how this works is you can pretty much select from two different tables using, and I'm going to make sure I got my comments on here, lower my volume on my phone, see if I got any comments coming in here. All right, cool. All right, so it looks like I don't have anyone coming in yet. Okay, so Lunar Light, no, unfortunately I did not get the job. So that is why now I am really hunkering down, starting to work on my third portfolio project and starting to practice interviewing for, yes, those technical portions of the interview process. The last job I interviewed for did not have any technical questions. It was strictly behavioral questions. So, but I figure now, because I want to start applying for data analyst jobs, well, it's probably a good idea to start practicing for those interviews, especially the technical portion. All right, so like I mentioned, union all. When it comes to using set operators, the thing you got to remember as I go over here, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go show you the two tables I'm going to be working with. I created these two tables, and then I'm going to go ahead and select from that other table as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and execute this. So, okay, so what I've got here is I've got a customers table, and it's got first name, last name, city and state, and a membership ID. We won't go over that yet. And then we have a suppliers table. So we have here the supplier name, the city, and the state. So an example of using the union all is, let's say we want to figure out, do we have any states that are in both our customers table and suppliers table? So meaning, do we have customers and suppliers that reside both in the same state? Well, that is where we can use a set operator here. And the thing with set operators is you've got to have the same number of columns for each select statement. So the first query I'm going to run is actually going to result in an error. And I'm going to do this on purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and let me go ahead and put city and state. And then here I'm just going to put state. I'm going to put state down here. And let me go ahead and get rid of that. And here I am going to put union all. And we're going to, and you see here I've got two columns listed here, but only one here. And when I execute, yep, all queries combined using a union, intersect, or except operator must have an equal number of expressions in their target list. So that's why I got the error, because I've got two expressions up here and one down here. And the other thing you've also got to keep in mind is they've got to be of a similar data type. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that city. And if I run this and I hit execute, let's see what happened here. So like state, wrong, let's see, I got state. Let me fix that. I don't really like that. Okay, there we go. Hit execute. And you'll notice that we do have some duplicate values here. Now the reason for that is union all is going to include duplicate values. So the state of Washington is both in the customers table and suppliers table. Well, it's going to show up as duplicate values along is if we have multiple customers residing in the same state. Now, to avoid having those duplicates, this is where we can use the union statement. Union is going to return any values that are in both tables, but it's not going to return a duplicate value. So it's not going to, like, let's say the state of Washington is both in the customers and suppliers table. It's not going to be returned twice. So I'm going to come back over here, and now I'm just going to simply take out the all. And if we had, so here you can see we had 42 rows returned. But now I took out the all. If I hit execute, now we are down to 18. So yes, state Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida. These states are both in our customers table and suppliers table. And so, like, if I wanted to find out if we have any city, oh, looks like I got some comments. Paul Brown, no, I've got another interview on Wednesday. Hey there, Jack Daniels. Yeah, well, I thought the interview went pretty well, but I was not one of the people selected, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing is yeah, so that's so pretty much I didn't get the job, so right now I'm still I'm applying for more positions. But yeah, it depends. I mean, I've got some people will say, like, it depends on who you ask as far as like the competitive nature of the job. Some people say it's super competitive. Others say you need to have like foundational skills. I don't know. It's like I take whatever people I see people say. I try to take it with a grain of salt. All you can do is not give up. Okay, so without losing too much track here, so I've got union. I can go ahead and add city in here, and I go ahead and add city here too. And if I hit execute, so we have here city. So we have Charlotte. So it's returning those. If so, basically we both have customers and suppliers that are in Charlotte and Chicago, Illinois. And if I go ahead and put the all back in, well, of course it's going to return more value. So we got here 42. Okay, now the next set operator is the intersect. This is only going to return those values that are in either of the tables. So they have to be both in the first query and the second query. In this case, they have to be both in the customers table and suppliers table. So if I hit change this to intersection, and or actually it's going to be intersection, execute up. Let me go back. Okay, let me go. Okay, intersection. So I go back. Okay, because this was working. Intersect. Okay. Okay, so let's see what's okay. So select. All right, let's see. Let me go back here a sec. Cause what's going on here? Okay. All right. Intersect. There we go. All right. So now. Both the city and the state, this combination is in both of our tables. So city, Boston, Massachusetts, that location is in both the supplier and the customer's table. So that's an example of using the intersect. And the last one is, the last set operator is the minus or except and SQL Server. So pretty much what this is saying is if we have values that are in the first table, but are also in the second table or in both tables, they're not going to be returned. We are only going to be returning those values that are only solely in the first table or query. So if I come back over here, so now if I put except, it's only going to return those values that would be in the customer's table only. If they're in the suppliers table or if they're in both, they're not going to be returned. So even though, let's say we have a city and state that's in the customers table but also in the suppliers table, it won't be returned because it's only going to return those that are solely in that first query. In this case, the customers table. So I'm going to go ahead and hit execute, and so we have 11 values coming back to us. And so I can go ahead and take the city out. And just to make it a little more easy to read, state, All right, if I hit execute that, and so now, yeah, we don't have too many states being returned. But if I go ahead and put intersect, you can see how it's going to return a little more. So those are in both tables. And then if we go ahead and go union, it's going to return anything that's in both tables, but not duplicate values. And of course, we put in union all. That's going to return all of the values, including duplicate values. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, thank you for the good luck wishes there, everyone. This is going to be pretty interesting. But like I mentioned, looks like I do have 6 viewers, so this is a good. This is a good way to practice for that interview because you will be under pressure. Okay, so now we are going on to my favorite, and that are joins. Yes, SQL joins. So we've got the inner join, outer join, right join, and yeah, so those are the 4 major joins. So the first one I'm going to be going over is the inner join. So pretty much what this is saying is it's going to only retrieve those records that have matching values in both of the tables that are being supplied with. So for instance, so we got here, so let's go back to make using the actual example. So for this, I am going to be using let's go ahead and select, I'm going to select from customers, and I have a memberships table here. Okay, so I have a, okay, so here are my 2 tables. Okay, so I've got the customers table and I have a membership table. So here, as you can see, we got the membership ID, but we don't know what, we don't know what does P100, what was G100. But if we come down here, we have the ID of the membership type, which of course is basic, basic plus, bronze, gold, and so forth. So how this works is an inner join is only going to return those records that have matching values in both tables. So if we go over here, I'm going to go ahead and select. So I'm going to go ahead and select. And one other thing I should mention is this membership ID is a foreign key, and it references the primary key, which is ID of the memberships table. So that's how joins work. You're going to be referencing foreign keys to another table's primary key. So once again, the membership ID is the foreign key, and the ID column here is the primary key of the memberships. And here, this is the ID column here. Well, that's the primary key for the customers table. And so here we go. All right, so we're going to be doing an inner join. So we got, I'm just going to go ahead and select all the columns here, and we're going to go ahead and select from customers, and I'm going to go ahead and just come up with an alias here to cut down on typing as cust. Let's not worry about aliases right now. Let's just worry about the join. Okay, so select, and then we're going to go ahead and join. We're going to go ahead and join membership. Yeah, memberships, and then join memberships on. And so remember, we got to keep in mind. So we're going to have the customers dot membership ID is equal to memberships dot ID. And let's see, I make sure I don't have any errors there. So this is an inner join. So pretty much I've got the customers table and the memberships table. And as you can see here, only those records that have matching values in both the customers and the memberships table are returned. Now you're wondering, when it comes to the left and right joins, how do we know what table is left and how do we know what table is right? Well, whatever table you have listed here first is going to be the table that's on the left side. Whatever table you join on is going to be the right table. And so that's going to come in handy when we go over the left and right joins. So we come over here. So we come over here. Looks like I got a couple more people on here. Professor Tinderfiddles and Robert Warner. Thank you for joining in. The next one I'm going to be going over actually is the outer join, or full outer join. Now it doesn't matter, at least using SQL Server, you can either type in outer join or full outer join, but it's going to return all the records, those with matching values, along with those that don't have matching values, and where there are not any matching values, it's going to put in a null value in its place. So we come back over here, and what's nice about this is I've already got the query typed out, so I don't necessarily need to retype much. I can just change this to outer join, and notice what happens. Oops, what happened here? Let's see, customer outer join. It should work. Outer join. Maybe full. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Okay, so all right. So now, as you can see, what happened is we've got our customers table here. However, there are no matching values in the memberships table for these customers. So it's going to put in null values in its place. And here we got some more nulls here, And then as you can see here, we have some membership types, but we don't have any customers that have bought into these plans. So because we don't have any customers with the basic plus or the bronze or the silver plan, it's going to put in null values for these rows down here. So that's what a full outer join does. You're going to have more records returned with a full outer join. As you can see here, we have 30 records returned. If I go ahead and take that out, if I take this out and just put the join back in here and hit execute, you can see we have 19. So you see the difference between using an outer join and an inner join. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do. The next one we're going to go over is the left outer join. So basically, as the diagram depicts, everything in the left table is going to be returned, as well as those with matching values in the right table, and where there are not any matching values, no values will be returned. So if you come back over here, and I go ahead and put right join, so we have here right join. So remember, this is the customers table here. The right join is going to be, so this is our right table because we're joining on the right table. Everything that's on the right side is returned. But where there are no matching values, it's going to be no values. So that's how the right join works. So because I've got right here. So now, this is interesting. If I actually switch these, let me go ahead and switch these around. If I memberships and customers. All right, if I hit execute. Okay, so now as you can see here, now our memberships is it's our left table here, and the right join is our customers table. So yeah, it can be a little confusing to read, but yeah, so pretty much everything in our right table is going to be returned. Okay, so now let me go ahead and put it back to the way it was. Customers, and we have memberships. Okay, all right, let me come back over here. Okay, so now we have, so that was okay, so excuse me, I think I biffed it there, guys. Left outer join. So yeah, left outer join. Left join. I think I kind of mixed. Okay, there we go. So left join. Okay, so customers. So everything returned in the customers table, because it's our left table, is going to be returned, because we don't have any matching values, and some of our records over here, it's going to be replaced with null values. Okay, so now the next one over here is, of course, our right outer join. So everything in the right table is going to be returned along with matching values, along with matching values, but wherever there isn't any matching values in our left table, it's going to be with null values. So right outer join. So we come over here, the right, so now we're going to change that to right, which I did the first time around. Okay, execute. All right, so here, my right table is a membership. So as you can see here, every single record is returned, but as you can see here, because we don't have anyone for our basic plus or bronze level memberships. There are going to be no values in the left table. So that is an example of using the right join. Remember, the customers table is our left table. Our right table is our memberships table. So that takes care of our right join. And there are some other joins. Let me go ahead and take this slide out. I can delete. Let me see. I'm going to delete the slide. Okay. So we do have some other joins. We have the cross join, the self join, a natural join, equijoin. But so a cross join. Let's see what happens if we use a cross join. I want to see. I want to say I recall a cross join is basically it returns like the Cartesian product. So let's see if I do cross join. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so I think cross join. Yeah, so it looks like I've got 162 rows. So yeah, what I did here is I simply just selected from customers, cross join on memberships. Let me see what I have for. I just want to do something quick here. I'm seeing how many rows I have in each of my tables. Okay. Customer, and then suppliers. Okay, so let me go ahead and execute. What happened? No, go back over here. Where are you here? Okay, there it is. Execute. Okay, so it looks like we have 27 and 15. Okay, so we had 164 rows. So yeah, 27 and 15. Yeah, 27, 15. Yeah, and we got 164 rows. So yeah, I could be mistaken, but I want to say it returns every single combination there is. But that's a cross join, but I could be wrong on that. I think it does return like, so let's say you have a table with one table with 5 rows of data and another table with 5 rows of data. It's going to return 25 rows. It's going to return every single combination. And now one that can sometimes trip some people up, which I don't really have an example for, is the self join. Yes, the self join. Now this is an interesting one. And I figure, why not? Let's see, how long have I been going live here? Let's see, because let's see, I'm interested. Let's see, how long have I been at this? Because I can see how long I've been at this. Let's see, I've been going at it for 23 minutes. Okay, so ideally I should be able to cover this material in like less than 15 minutes. So I'm a little overboard, but it's good. Like I say, it's good practice. Okay, so now the self join. Okay, so to do this, I am going to have to add in another column in here. So I've got my customer. Let me go ahead and just. Okay, so I got select. I'm going to select from my customers table here. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to see if I can demonstrate a self join because even this is something. So DW interview went good, but I was not selected. Yep, I was not selected. I had like a 30. It was like my chances of having gotten selected was like about a 30, like 28. I think there were like 20 candidates that were like 20 or 25 candidates that were being interviewed, and they only took 6. So yeah, unfortunately, I was not one of the ones selected. So that is why now I am really kind of like hunkering down and really focusing on continuing to build my portfolio and practicing for those technical interviews, the technical portions of interviews. And yes, it is oftenly asked to demonstrate or at least explain what are the different types of joins, give an example of how you might use one, and set operators. When might you use set operators? So yes, those can be SQL interview questions. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add in another column to this table. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add a column here. let's see, it's going to be referred by, yeah, so do that. Let's try this. Okay. So let's see that, hopefully this works. Okay, cool. All right, so now what I'm going to do is update, let's see. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of trying to see if I can actually do a demonstration of doing a self-join. Okay, so self-referred. Okay. Where okay, let's see if that worked. Let's see if that worked. Okay, cool. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and select referred by. Let's see. Let's see if I do 6. I'm just trying to refer by 6. I'm gonna go ahead and do 9, 10, and 11. Okay. Cool. All right, and then I'm gonna come over here and add. Let's see. Let me go ahead and add. Let's see. Let me do this. Let me do referred by 2, and we'll go ahead and do. We're gonna go to 16 and 17. Okay. All right. So execute. All right. And then I want to just comment these out. Okay. So let me go ahead and see how our table looks now. All right. So we got. Okay, so now what I've done here is I have added a referred by column to this table, and let's see. Okay, I'm just kind of reading through my comments here. Thank you, Robert Warner, for your support. Thank you, Hinty Gibson. Perot, yes, thank you. Paul Brown, all right, cool. All right, so I've got 5 people on here, and I got to get to this self-join. So what I'm going to do here is, let's say we got referred by, and we could look and see like, okay, it looks like this person here was referred by this individual over here. This person over here was also referred by the same individual. Okay, who was this referred? This person was referred by, looks like Jesse Sampson. Now you can see that can get pretty tedious. Another example of how you might use a self-join is like an employees table where you have like a list of employees. Each employee has like their ID, and then a manager is also going to have an ID, but like for the employees table, it's also going to have a column that will list the employee's manager ID. So maybe you want to figure out like who the manager is of that particular employee. So pretty much what I'm doing here is kind of the same concept. I'm trying to figure out who were our members referred by. So to make this readable, this might be a little messy, so I'm gonna have to use, what I want to do is I want to combine both the first name and last name as one single column. So this is going to be, this might get a little interesting here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a concat function here. But what I have to do is I'm going to have to go create some aliases. So I'm going to go ahead and do customers dot, and then I got custom. Okay, let's see, as referred. Okay, so that's referred by. To make the, okay, and then what I'm gonna do is select and then concat, and then let's see, we're gonna have our let's see, customers, but I'm gonna have, well, wait a sec, no, I'm gonna have to use because, okay, so I just realized, because I'm actually joining in a table on itself, I have to create like 2 different aliases for the same table. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna put cust and change that to cut, and hopefully this should work. Actually, no, this is gonna be, no, because we're gonna go ahead and do ref. We're gonna change that to ref. Because I believe you got to create two separate aliases for the same table, and that's where it can get kind of confusing when doing a self join. Okay, concat, and then I gotta do cust dot first name dot. Okay, and then as customer. Okay, all right, and then what I have to do here is join customers dot ref. So basically I'm using the aliases customers dot ref on, let's see, so I got, so custom, okay, no, wait, so join customer, let me see, I got customers dot cus on, let's see, join customer, I'm just trying to, let's see, on customers dot ref. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, okay, this is getting interesting here. Okay, let me see. I'm just going, where is my, I want to say I had, I can't, no, okay. Okay, so, whew. So customer dot ID is equal to ref dot referred by. Okay, let's see. No, okay, join. Okay, I'm getting a little tripped. I'm getting a little tripped up here. I gotta make this work. I gotta make this work. I gotta make this. I gotta. Okay. Okay, gotta make this work. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna comment this out. So I need to. Sometimes you gotta backspace a little bit. Let me just go. Okay. Okay, so if I go, okay, so, what is going on here? Okay. I forgot to put the on in there. Okay, so execute. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and comment this out. So comment that out. Okay, so let me go ahead and uncomment this. This is what I like about SQL Server. Okay, so let me take this out. This is, okay, so we got join. Okay, so let me give myself some space here. Okay, so join customer cust on. See, so I want. Oh, I know. I know what I did. Okay, from. I gotta put my from on here. Okay, so from cust. Okay, and then join. Okay, I would say. Yeah, customers dot ref. Yeah, that's because I got my two aliases here. And let's see. So join concat on cust dot, so customer dot ID is equal to ref dot referred by. Let's see if this works. Whew. Wow. Okay, so I got it. So I got it backwards here. So actually, this is going to be. Actually, this is the cut. So actually, this is the referred. This is the referred by. Ah, if I go by, and this is the actual customer. Yeah, this is gonna. I gotta put gotta put enclose it in quotation marks. Customer referred by. Okay, I got. Okay, what's going on? Okay, yeah, customer. Customer. Okay, let me go ahead and execute. Okay, select. Yeah, that's why. Oh, wait, comma there. Okay. All right, let's see what's going on here. Okay, customer concat. So I got my customer. I'm missing my from. That's fine. All right, let's try this again. Okay. All right, so there we go. So as you can see here, our customer Sam Howell was referred by Sarah, and yeah, not the best example, but Adam, Emily. Of course, I guess he could refer your own self, but and then we have. So yeah, that's an example of using the self join. Uh, so that is pretty much. Let's see how long that took me. So that took me basically 36 minutes to run through this PowerPoint here, covering SQL set operators and joins. So my goal is I've got to get it down to under 15 minutes. Yes, 15 minutes. And that's the goal to be able to do this. Because you figure in an interview, they're not gonna give you 36 minutes to go over all these items. So yeah, so that's my benchmark, guys. Got to beat 36 minutes. But I did go over the different set operators, which of course you've got union all, union, intersect, except, and minus, which are the minus and except are pretty much the same thing, depending on which relational database management system you're using. And then when it comes to joins, you've got the inner join, right join, left join, full auto join, self join, cross join, and a few other different joins. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for now. Just kind of wanted to do this live stream. It was a good way to get some practice in, kind of give a little quick update as to what's going on. But as far as that, yep, I'm not gonna dwell on what didn't happen or what could what did it what wasn't meant to be, because I just got to keep moving forward. So yep, I think that's gonna do it for now. Want to make sure I kind of keep it on track with what the title of the video says. But thank you all for joining in. Shout out to Lunar Light, Paul Brown, Jack Daniels, uh, Jack Daniels. Just a quick response to you. Why don't I have a YouTube fitness channel? Oversaturation. That's pretty much the one thing that's kept me from having a fitness channel. Simply pure oversaturation. I mean, you've got like Scott Herman, you've got Greg Doucette, you've got, there's like tons and tons and tons of fitness channels out there. It would be really hard to kind of make a name for myself with all the different fitness channels out there. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion though. We got Paul Brown, Perro, Henty, Professor Tinderfiddles, Robert Warner, Kadisha Bryan. Yes, Kadisha. All right, yeah. So it looks like I got some people in here that I haven't seen in a while. Let's see who else I got in here. Chupa. So more than likely, guys, I know some of you don't like these tutorials, but some of you do. But it is kind of a fun way to put myself under some pressure here, because, like I mentioned, I'm probably making, silly mistakes, silly syntax errors, and when you're so I'm going to close off by saying that when you're in an interview situation, it is going to be common to probably your thoughts are going to get tripped up. You're going to be like stumbling for words. So that's why I would encourage any of you out there who are trying to get ready for the interview to practice. Make a video of yourself interviewing. I know it sounds kind of odd. It may sound kind of funny, but yeah, make a video of yourself like actually interviewing, and like maybe come up with some questions. Like, I know it's kind of hard to come up with behavioral questions, but maybe use Chat GPT to come up with a list of questions and be like, okay, or better yet, look at the job description. Look at what the job description is saying. what are they describing, and then try to answer like questions like, why would you be a good fit for this company? And that's where it pays to do like some research in the company, maybe find out like what their cultural values are, so you can kind of tie in to your experience, or like, uh, tell me about yourself. Tell us about yourself. So that's where you can kind of relate your past experience and how it would relate to the role that you're applying for. But make sure not to don't make it to be a story about yourself, but make it to be and how you can contribute, how your past skills and current skills can be of be of a contribution to the company. That's what the goal is. So aside from that, Edward M., Robert Warner, yeah, I think I mentioned all of you, but that's all for now, guys. I'll probably back at you guys again this evening. I'll probably do, or maybe tomorrow. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to probably redo the same thing. I know, but I might try to switch things up a little bit. Instead of like doing joins, SQL joins, and set operators, here's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing constraints. Yes, constraints. When it comes to setting up a table, creating, altering, modifying. Yes, although some people may disagree as far as like being able to create tables, modify them, insert data into tables. Depending on who you ask, it can be a skill that you probably do want to have if you're trying to get yourself a role as a data analyst. But like I said, it depends on who you ask. Some people will say that all you simply need to learn, all you simply need to know are these basic commands. Select. So you've got select, you've got from, you've got the big one is where, order by, group by, having. We got our joins. I'm not going to go over the joins again. We got our set operators. Let's see what else we got. We got distinct. We've got between. We got between. We got all our comparison operators, like we got greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, less than, greater than, not in. We got so many here. Let's see what else. We've got like string functions. I mean, you got string functions. I'm just gonna put string functions here. String functions can be like, I use a string function in this demo, the concat function. You got like the left function, right function, substring function. So exactly how much do you need to know? Well, I may actually compile a list of all what I feel like you probably want to know before you feel really confident in acing that SQL technical portion of the interview. And then, of course, you've got window functions, partition by, rank, dance rank, common table expressions like using the with clause. Whew. Yeah, and then you've got SQL triggers. What are they? Let's see, what else is there? Yeah, there's like a whole slew of topics, but like I mentioned, some people will be like, okay, all you need to know are like these right here, and voila, you're ready to start applying for jobs. I would tend to disagree with that. I really disagree with that. I think you definitely need to know window functions, need to know at least what triggers are. You want to know like how to create tables, update them, modify them. You definitely want to know your comparison operators, logical operators. You want to have a good idea of some majorly commonly used string functions. Some other ones I haven't mentioned, coalesce, like what to do with null values. Whew, okay, guys, I'm losing my train. I'm losing. Wheels, man. Did I go to school for this? Actually, what's interesting is I took a course on this last spring, but actually I've actually learned most of this through watching YouTube videos, joining a couple different data science and data analyst groups, Udemy. So actually I've learned most of this through just like self-teaching myself, like videos, Udemy, forums, because really all I learned when I took the class, pretty much I already learned most of that stuff as it is. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. Looks like I'm kind of losing viewer count. I'm down to 4. So I think that means it's high time for me to cut it loose, cut it for now. But yeah, this was enjoyable, guys. And like I said, so the theme of today was, yes, another job rejection, but you got to take it in stride. And what you do whenever you get a job rejection, use that to feel more motivation. Use it to give it more fight in you to get you closer to that foothold that's going to work your way up to that dream job. You may not get that dream job right off the bat. It may be not the most glamorous, but hey, I mean, even if it's just plug and chug data into a database, hey, that's a lot better than, not working your way towards your dream job. So even if you have to settle for doing some plug and chug before you can get to your dream job, well, that's what it's going to take. But until then, might as well practice those interview skills. And aside from that, I want to thank all of you for joining in, especially those of you who haven't joined in for a while. I think I mentioned most of you on here. So that's it for now, guys. But it is time for me to get some other things done and take a little break, let my mind ease. But I've been at SQL now for like the past 3 hours. So I think it's time to take a break, guys. Time to take a good solid break. So thank you all for watching, and I'll be back at you guys before long. Peace out.